So a lot of people are selling printables on Etsy or on any other platforms, and it has been a life-changing move for a lot of people because you can sell an endless amount of products that you don't have to constantly make again and again and again. So that's kind of brilliant when you think about that. And a lot of people are using Canva for that, and that is a really cool app. But you know what else is a cool app? Kittl. They have very clear licensing, they have DPI control and a bunch of other stuff. And in today's video, I'm going to show the Kittl platform for creating your own printables to sell on Etsy or anywhere else. But in order for me to do that, I need to get out of my pajama and go sit at my table. So let's just transition with magic. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mel and I teach creative people how to sell their art online. And today I'm all about how to create printables to sell on Etsy or any other platform using an app called Kittl. And when I say app, I mean like computer app. I mean like a tool, like a web app, like Canva, but different than Canva. In today's video, I'll be going over 5 main things. The first one is what is Kittl and why I think it's better than Canva. The second part will be all about licensing for digital download items and printables, which means what you can and cannot sell. And yes, it's not like a 7-page PDF that you need to figure out if it's correct or not. It's really simple when it comes to the licensing on Kittl. It's actually one of the reasons I like them. Third, how to actually use the Kittl platform to design your printables. Fourth, what kind of printables can you make? And generally speaking, where you can sell them. And 5, pricing of the platform, because it's not a free tool. They have a free version. It's actually really limited. So a pro version is in fact recommended. And if you watch this video till the end, you might find out that the pro version of Kittl gives you a lot more than the pro version of Canva. And you can actually get everything you need to complete the sale of printables from Canva for free. Now, while I will be showing you Kittl platform, I will not be doing a step-by-step tutorial to create all these amazing printables. There are so many of them. I have had so many videos on this channel for selling printables using Canva, and I plan on making these videos as well using Kittl. However, as some of you know, November is going to be a bit of a shorter month for me, and then I'm taking December off. But before I leave you, I would like to make a very specific Kittl printable video, and I need your help deciding what that video will be. Right after you hear all the printable options I'm going to give you with Kittl, please go into the community tab of this channel where I posted a poll of what specific video you'd like me to make next, like how to make and sell printable coloring pages with Kittl, how to make printable greeting cards, printable wall art, and I will take a few days to tally up the votes and see what won, and we'll make a video about that before I go on my break. Sounds good? So let's start with our first section, which is what is Kittl. Kittl is a design app that is web-based, which means it's on your browser. You simply go to kittl.com or with the link in the description down below, and it allows you to create so many different types of designs. And I have been using it for print on demand as the company was originally meant for print on demand. Kittl has so many different templates for print on demand products, whether it's labels, stickers, t-shirts, and posters that are all coming from either the Kittl creators or from the community that share a template that you later on can edit. And that's for print on demand. Kittl is very community oriented, whether it's on their YouTube channel hosted by Drew, where they host different YouTubers, including myself, twice, or if it's their challenges, which is actually kind of exciting. I think every week or 2 weeks they have a different challenge, and you can win Kittl Pro and Expert memberships as well as other prizes when they do collaborations with other creators. For example, we recently did a challenge together, Kittl and I, about designing print-on-demand notebooks, and the first place winner won a $100 Amazon gift card. If you'd like me to make another challenge with Kittl in the new year, please let me know that in the comment section down below, and I'll tell Drew, look, so many people want me to make a challenge. I have to do it. Now we're going to talk about why Kittl is better than Canva, in my opinion, for printables. Now there was a similar video about that, Kittl versus Canva, for print-on-demand users. And again, when I say better, I mean for my personal use. Maybe you have different uses that you need from the platform, and that's okay. The first thing is that Canva is a web app, meaning on the browser, that was designated for graphic designers for web. It's an amazing place to create beautiful videos and beautiful templates for social media. You have great access to create video ads, banner ads. You can create graphics for your website, and it's really amazing. However, Canva was not made to take anything to print, which is why you don't have DPI control, especially not as clearly as on Kittl, where you can literally type in the DPI that you want your work to be in. And the reason why Kittl has this DPI control is that Kittl was made for print on demand. It was literally meant for people to design a design and then print it on an item, which is exactly what you're doing, what you're telling your buyers to do when you're selling them printables. Kittl has an extensive and unique and exclusive font collection, as Kittl is the brainchild of Heritage Type Co., which is a font company. So they have a lot of various fonts that are super unique. And if you don't know the importance of fonts, well, yeah, fonts are incredibly important, especially when people got used to seeing the same fonts over and over and over again in print on demand, in printables, in KDP books, in all of that. Kittl also has really, really cool text effects that are so much better than what Canva has to offer you. In fact, a lot of their text effects regarding the actual text and how it looks, individual letters, it really reminds me when I was in school and I was doing those diary doodles and headlines and all kinds of that with markers. It's really, really unique and really special. But on top of these text effects that are on the actual text, Kittl also has the option to move your text, to make it go up, go down, in an angle, circular, and even complete morphing of the text to your liking. So you can create a text that will be inside a shape. For example, in this notebook that I created the text inside the heart shape. Kittl also has this really, really cool grungy vibe that I feel like it would be hard for me to create it if I had to use any other platform. And I feel like the world is going towards this grunge and vintage vibe when it comes to print on demand as well as printables. So I really do like it. However, you can also create those elegant cursive writing vibe, pale pink kind of thing, and you can be sure that these designs will come out good when being printed because, again, you have DPI control and you can manually set your DPI to 300, which is considered the standard norm for selling digital download files. Now let's talk about Kittl licensing. And unlike Canva and a lot of other platforms where everything is a bit confusing, the Kittl licensing for selling printables is actually very simple, and I know it because I spoke to them. I'm not taking this licensing information from any website trying to see if I got it correctly. I'm taking it directly from the Kittl crew that I spoke with and made sure that what I'm saying in this video is correct so you guys can make money the good old-fashioned way, legally, with actually selling things you're allowed to sell. When you go into Kittl, you see all of these templates, and these templates were meant for print-on-demand sellers. And at the moment of recording this video, they can only be used for print-on-demand sellers and not for people who want to sell printables. However, if you go to the platform yourself and create a design from scratch, you can use it for making printables of multiple kinds. You can create on Kittl printable digital end products and not digital products meant for licensing. And I'll explain. For example, if you create a coloring page using Kittl, you can sell it as a coloring page printable on Etsy, or make a larger PDF of these and sell a printable coloring book, and even put it on Amazon KDP if you want to. Same goes for printable wall art posters, printable greeting cards, and all that. These are items that you're selling so that the buyer of these items is going to download the file and use it themselves. However, you cannot create digital download files that are meant for the buyer to use themselves in a business, which means you can't create a file and then sell it for someone else to put it on a printable or on print on demand. You can only sell to the direct consumer that is going to be using your product, which is actually a really large variety of products that you can make. Now, before I get to the full list of what you can design with Kittl to sell as printables, I would like to quickly show you how this platform looks like when you're going in and designing. And I'm reminding you, there will be a specific design tutorial for a specific product that you guys are going to choose from the poll in the community tab. Designing with Kittl is actually quite simple. All you have to do is go to the top and click on Create New Project. In your new project, which was created automatically to be 1200 pixels by 1200 pixels, you have to go to the wrench tool and manually select your size. You can select from their sizes, like a poster size or an A4, or you can manually input your size in pixels and inches and centimeters and so on. We're not mining the DPI at the moment because the DPI would be added on while we download the file. You can start off your design by using Kittl text, Kittl graphic elements, or Kittl photos, as well as upload your own graphics to the platform or your own photos to use them in your design. Start off your design by adding text from Kittl, going over their amazing selection of fonts, as well as their elements and their photos. Or if you have your own graphic elements and photos, you can upload them onto the Kittl platform yourself and use them in your design. When it comes to text, you have so many different fonts that you can choose from and so many different text effects. I really recommend taking the time and trying to understand the abilities of the platform before you go ahead and create a design yourself. You can also play around with some of their templates and see what other people did in that template to understand the logic of how to create a good design yourself. I think that there is definitely a learning curve when it comes to using Kittl, mostly because there are so many other options if you compare it to Canva, but it's definitely worth to try to master these tools and these elements in order to create a really, really good design. Kittl also has textures which you can place on top of your design to be featured on the entire design, or clipping them up to the content, and even alpha mask, even though alpha masking in this case is not really something that we'll be using when we're selling printables. You can also use photos, whether from Kittl or from yourself, and create a clipping mask from these photos and overlay on top of a different photo or a different silhouette. So for example, I can take this beautiful photo and sort of clip it around a silhouette of a Christmas tree in order for me to create this beautiful design for a greeting card. Just as an example. While working on the design, you can always go in and change the size that you're working on if you need to readjust it for a different product, even though I would recommend duplicating that design before you change the size in case you want to go back to an old design and have both in both sizes. You can also use one of their best features, which is layers, because everything you do on Kittl comes in on a layer of its own. And you can use these layers to take a graphic element on top of another element or below another element, as well as hide it temporarily if you're not sure you want to use it, but you don't want to lose it in the design itself. Great, you created a design in Kittl, and now all you have to do is download it. So just go into the downloading options and choose your desired DPI and file type. No matter what printable you're selling, I would recommend downloading a JPEG version first, because that's a version you can use to create mockups for your Etsy listings or listings on any other platform, as well as a PDF, which is mostly common when selling things like coloring pages or stationery notes, but a lot of people also sell JPEG files when it comes to wall art. So you have the option to export both, as well as PNG and SVG, even though again, with PNG and SVG, you'll have less options of what to do with it, because the majority of printable items will either come as a JPEG form or as a PDF, because most people would not need a PNG of any kind for personal use, especially when the file weighs a lot more. Now, let's say you made a beautiful poster or a beautiful greeting card for people to buy as a printable and print at home. You can go then to the Kittl color palette option and completely change all the colors in your design to create a whole new design within seconds. Download that one and sell that one as well as a separate listing, or sell several variations in the same listing to give the buyers more options to choose from after they bought from you. Okay, playing around with Kittl is just so much fun, but let's get down to business. What can you actually design using Kittl? So I did make some cool printables myself using Kittl, and I made this really, really cool list so you guys can check out if any of these products kind of click with you and you want to start selling them on Etsy, or maybe are selling them already on Etsy, and Kittl can be an extra tool to create more of them. Starting off with printable wall art. I think that one is an obvious, and I actually created this really cool printable wall art zombie. I find it really cool. It was like a zombie apocalypse. I actually made a design for print on demand for that, for my axe, for a sweatshirt, and then I decided to tweak it a little bit and create this poster, which is really cool. And actually even the skull with the hat came from Kittl. So I didn't have to contribute anything that I designed myself, and I really think it's a cool poster. Now, while I mentioned that Kittl is so grunge and so vintage and it's really, really cool, especially if you're creating products for adults, I also managed to create this beautiful wall art poster printable for kids, for nursery rooms, and I think it's kind of adorable. There are just so many things you can do with this platform when it comes to selling printable wall art. Printable greeting cards are always a fun product to make, especially when we're heading into the holidays. I think that my printable greeting card video with Canva is like my most watched video in this channel. So I know you guys like greeting cards. So when it comes to printable greeting cards, you can design various types of greeting cards whether you're designing a full A4 paper that people need to fold themselves and cut to get the card, or if you're just selling a JPEG of 5x7, 4x6 inches for people to go to a store and print themselves. It's actually a beautiful thing that you can do with it, especially when you can design the design of the card and then sort of hide the main elements to create the back of the design with the same background. And as an example, I created this Christmas card using Kittl. I actually really like it. I think it's really cool. What do you think? And it doesn't only have to be a greeting card, because you can also create printable postcards to sell on Etsy or on any other platform. There are just so many options when it comes to printables to sell on Etsy, to make on Kittl. And before I get to more of these options, I would like to kindly ask you that if you like this video or found this content useful, please hit the like button down below, because believe it or not, every time you do that, it really does help my channel. And subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. Now, my journey with Kittl printables actually started when I wanted to create my own printable coloring page on Kittl. Actually, not to sell it, I just really like making coloring pages and coloring them. And I started off by creating this printable coloring page, which I really liked. It had this motivational quote, and it was so easy to do because all I had to do with the text elements is just make them white and give them a black border, which is so easy, so easy. And I actually enjoyed making more of these printable coloring pages, including one for the Chinese New Year. And I have here, what do you guys think? It's 2023. Year of the Water Rabbit, and all of the elements actually came from Kittl, including the rabbit silhouette, which again, the rabbit silhouette had a color. I just made it to be white and then manually added border to it in black, and also all of these beautiful flower elements and framing this. This entire thing was made with Kittl, and I kind of really like it. I don't think we've discussed the Chinese New Year that much. We are going to have a video in the next few days covering printables as well as print-on-demand items to make for 2023, the first quarter. So we are going to be talking a lot about the Chinese New Year, but for those of you who didn't know, it's going to be the Year of the Water Rabbit. I really like this coloring page. I can't wait to do it. I actually got really cool coloring pencils. Some of them are pastel, some of them are metallic, so I'm really gonna have fun with that thing. And oh my god, I have the worst ADHD for literally showing you pencils in the middle of a Kittl printable video. Okay, so I actually started editing this video, you can see by me wearing pajama now, and I went to make coffee and I realized that I forgot to mention my favorite printable item. How is that even possible? And my favorite printable item is actually stationery paper. Just the paper where people just write something on, you know, with those lines. You can have a little thank you at the bottom to make it stationery for thank you notes, or my thoughts for the day, or my gratitude for the day. And it's a really, really awesome product. I made it with Kittl, actually very easy, because I didn't even use the lines. I wanted to make sure that the spacing would be identical, so I just chose a font and clicked on that lower dash and just multiplied it a million times to create these beautiful lines that all have the same spacing, a beautiful background, and a bit of flower. And I also put it in a mock-up, even though it's less clear in a mock-up, and that mock-up was from Placeit. So sorry for the change of scenery. This is so embarrassing. And let's get back to the rest of the list. Another product that you can make that is going to be extremely popular for 2023 is printable planners. Whether it's a weekly planner, a monthly planner, you can create a full set of this. And this is an example of one of mine. I don't know if you like it or not. It's a weekly planner. There is days here and the notes. And of course, those unique fonts that Kittl have, as well as the background here that is sort of behind the main areas. And that was with Kittl textures. And I really, really, really like this design. You can also create habit trackers. You can also create printable calendars. There are seriously so many types of pages that you can create with Kittl meant for printables that people can use to organize their lives or plan for the new year. And it is going to be a rather big thing, a big thing. I feel like so many people are talking about recession and how it's going to affect sales of certain things. However, whenever we see recession, we see people buying more and more the things that they need to feel better about themselves, to get organized about themselves. And printables are definitely going to be on the rise. And we know that because one of the biggest print-on-demand platforms, Zazzle, just started making printables. So we definitely know that people are going to want to save money and are going to want to buy printables. And if we can create printables to add that aspect of organization, of motivation, of inspiration to people's lives, I really do believe that these are going to be trending in 2023, but this is just, you know, my humble opinion. Another product that you can make is printable bookmarks. And that product was actually fun for me to make because I was using that effect of clipping a layer, like a photo, to the under layer above it. But I don't think it's really clear with this mock-up, so let me show you how it looks on my designer on Kittl. It was really, really fun making it. It took a little bit of time for me, you know, to get used to it, to try to structure it within the design. But I feel like that time that you put in to try and do something new, sort of, you know, you get that time back later on because you learn how to do it faster for the next few times. And you don't have to rely on templates to create a design, ending up with a more unique design yourself, rather than everybody selling the same Canva templates for their printables. Now, we have all of these products, and I'm pretty sure that you guys can come up with more ideas, but where can we sell these products? Well, the first thing that comes to mind when people say printables is obviously Etsy, because so many people are selling different types of printables on Etsy for years, and it has been going well. However, you don't have to sell on Etsy. You can also sell on your own shop, whether it's with Shopify or WooCommerce or a platform like PayHip. I actually sell digital download files on my PayHip store, which is maytribe.com, different elements that you guys can use for commercial purposes. You will find all of these graphic elements. Some of them are actually free. Some of them are huge bundle boxes that cost like, I don't know, $5 or $6 of graphics that you can use for commercial purposes for everything. So that means that if you need a little bit more graphic elements than what Kittl has to offer, hop into maytribe.com, where you can find all of these bundle boxes, download several of these elements, whether they're for Christmas, whether they are for Easter, whether they're for Valentine's. I have like animal elements, I have different patterns, and you can use them when you're making Kittl designs to be sold as printables. You have my permission to use them for commercial purposes for printables, and I hope that this thing helps you out a little bit more. There is no continuous license when it comes to this. You don't have to keep buying bundle boxes to have the license. Once you get one bundle box, you can use everything in it for print on demand or for printables, and I think that this can help you create more unique designs than just going and using what everybody's using from Canva. Now, I will be making more bundle boxes in the next few months. There will be a special bundle box for Valentine's Day. There will be a special bundle box for Easter. So make sure to follow up on this channel, as well as the maytribe.com bundle boxes, if you guys want those little bit of extra graphics that are more unique and generally more specific to viewers of this channel. I make all of them with Procreate myself, so you can be sure that no one's going to come at you with copyrights claim. I feel like I'm very charged when it comes to copyrights in the last few days or weeks, because I do know that so many people who have used elements from Canva and from Creative Fabrica actually got suspended from various platforms because turns out they couldn't have used these elements for commercial purposes, or even the person selling them on Creative Fabrica didn't have the license for them, which is completely terrifying to me. So I try as much as I can to just create my own art using Procreate, and if I can share it with you guys, why not? Going back to talking about PayHip, PayHip actually costs $0 a month, and you'll pay 5% commission for any item sold if it's digital. But you can also opt in to pay PayHip a membership fee, and your commission will go down. There is a link down below to sign up for PayHip. Shopify is going to cost you a minimum of $29.99 a month, and when it comes to having your own WooCommerce website in order to sell digital downloads, you're just going to have to pay for the domain and for hosting. I'm seriously thinking about trying to do one of these websites myself. You can also combine PayHip with a WordPress website of your own and sell PayHip products directly on WordPress, which is super cool. And there is actually a tutorial about that, as well as a full tutorial about PayHip itself. If you guys want to go and check it out, there will be a link to both of these videos and to every single video I mentioned here down below in the description. Another up-and-coming shop builder to sell digital downloads online is Jemmy.so. I have yet to make a video about Jemmy. I know, I promised to make a video so many times. They're really cool. I'm checking them out. I want to make a full video about their links, and maybe next year I will do on the downloads, because again, this year there are so many more videos to cover in November. However, if you do go to Jemmy.so and start playing around with the system yourself, you'll find out that they have a limited free account for a website with like 2 pages, and it costs $9 a month to have a store on Jemmy, which is nothing, because this platform has so many unique abilities when it comes to the design, drag and drop. It's really a simple platform to use, as well as with so many templates. And if you guys want to end 2022 with a bang and with your own Jemmy.so website for your digital downloads and printables using Kittl or using whatever, feel free to enjoy a little bit of a discount from me, just a little bit, like 50% discount with more details on that in the description down below. Let's move on to the last topic of today's video, which is pricing, because you know, money, 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 and how much is it going to cost me? So Kittl has a free plan. However, it is very limited. There is a limit to the size of the file that you can download, as well as you can only have 10 designs at the same time, and you have to attribute Kittl whenever you do want to sell anything, which I don't think none of us actually want to do when we sell printables. No offense, Kittl. Kittl Pro is going to cost you $15 a month or $120 a year if you purchase the annual membership, and Kittl Expert is going to cost you $30 a month or $288 a year. You are more than welcome to just use Kittl Pro. I think it's fairly sufficient, and for the price of $10 a month for a tool that can do all of this, it's actually quite of a bargain. Kittl Pro is limited to 1 GB of storage, but so far I don't think a lot of people will reach it, especially if they use only things from the Kittl platform. And if you start with Kittl Pro and you see that you need that little extra storage space, you can always upgrade to Kittl Expert. Now, there are many unique abilities for the Kittl platforms when it comes to designing printables to sell online. I feel like even though it has less elements to use, sometimes having less elements makes me more targeted or focused, as well as I don't know if all of the elements on Canva are for commercial purpose, and I rather use elements that I know that I can use for myself, whether I created them or you guys if you purchase the bundle boxes. And I feel like that when Kittl have this like really easy license to sell printables, as well as try to explain it to YouTubers, to explain it to you guys, it's really all on the up and up, and it makes me feel more relaxed when it comes to opening a business online, because I don't want anyone to go through the hassle of uploading something they thought they can use and end up, you know, getting banned from a platform because they use something they shouldn't. That's just such a heartbreak, especially after you pour yourself into a business and you want to do everything correctly and you want to do everything legally. That's something that is really important to me personally. Oh my God, I've been talking for 43 minutes. I don't know how much like time this video is running, but obviously, you know, my videos are longer when I make them before editing. I'm so thirsty. I love this ayran salty yogurt. Now, while it is amazing that I can make printables like these on Kittl, selling printables has a lot more than just creating the actual printable, because I have to either take a photo of this for Etsy or create the listing images for Etsy, which a lot of times people feel more comfortable doing it with Canva. And let me tell you this, you can do this with a free Canva membership. So for those of you who can afford only Kittl Pro or Canva Pro every single month for the next year, I really recommend going into Canva and seeing if you actually need the Pro account to do all of the activities that you're doing with Canva. Because a lot of times you'll find out that if you take your design to a better design platform and use Canva just for creating the listing images or even videos, you can use Canva free. You don't actually have to pay for the Pro version. Just a thought there. And you can also create your listing images or mockups using a website like Placeit and play around with it. I really do need to make more mockup videos. I really do. Or if you're selling something that is small to print, I recommend printing it at home or at a print shop. One, so you can have physical photos of it, and even when it comes to marketing, because, you know, I can actually color it. If I was selling coloring pages, I can color it and video that, and that would be like a marketing thing. Or to print it out just to see that the quality does come out good and that you did everything correctly, that you didn't design something too big or too small or too blurry on your end as a designer. I hope that you enjoyed this little recap of Kittl and printables. And as I said, I really want to make a full tutorial of Kittl printables for Etsy or for any other platform. Go ahead to the community tab and vote on the poll. Which product would you like me to design first as a printable for Kittl in the next few days? And with that being said, and with a little bit of bloopers at the end, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing Monday, an amazing week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Can you hear the chair moving? It's making so much noise. Do you see this? I had to put this on the window to block the light. These are Society 6 wrapping papers. This is what you do with wrapping paper when you have no one to give gifts to. Have a happy Monday and a happy new year. Happy New Yeek. Yes, art online is it? And